I'm happy to see you and welcome back to another episode of Read Me a Story. Today we're going to spend some time talking about being thankful, saying thank you, and some Thanksgiving stories too. I'm Miss Tanya and I'm ready to get started with you. Our first book is 1, 2, 3 Thanksgiving, and it's by W. Nicola Lisa. Are you ready? Count with me. 1. On Thanksgiving, Papa stuffs 1 fat turkey. Mama bakes 2 pumpkin pies. Little sister measures 3 cups of cranberries. Uncle Martin washes 4 ripe tomatoes. Oh, we missed one. That was 4. We need to find 5. Where is it? There it is. Baby brother squishes 5 juicy raisins. Big sister slices 6 skinny squash. Grandpa finds 7 serving bowls. Aunt Evelyn carries 8 fresh flowers. Cousin Raymond fills 9 sparkling glasses. And Grandma lights 10 bright candles. Everyone pauses for a moment of silence, and then Grandpa says, "Let's eat." Yum. After dinner, Papa stacks 10 empty plates. Mama shakes out 9 crumpled napkins. Look at this silly kitty. Little sister clears 8 round rolls. Uncle Martin balances 7 sturdy cups. Baby brother scatters 6 shiny spoons. Big sister catches 5 sugar cookies. Grandpa snaps out 4 quick pictures. Aunt Evelyn plays 3 lively songs. Cousin Raymond waves 2 wishbone halves. And Grandma breaks into 1 big smile. As everyone gathers to give thanks on this best day of all, Thanksgiving Day. The end. All right, we'll take a break, and I'll see you for our next story. Welcome back. Our next story today is Splat Says Thank You, and it's by Rob Scotterin. Splat has worried that Seymour hadn't smiled all day. He was covered in spots and not feeling well. This isn't right, thought Splat. How can I make Seymour smile? Splat pulled a book from a drawer and he showed it to Seymour. "I made it for you," said Splat. "I call it a friendship book." Splat opened the book. It began quite simply. for Seymour, the best mouse I know. Seymour sneezed. Splat turned the page and began to read out loud. When I was scared to try out for the school play, you encouraged me to do it anyway, said Splat. Thank you. And when Miss Dimple gave me the lead role, I could have learned my lines without you. Thank you, Splat continued. And when I laughed so hard at Plank that I forgot my lines, you helped me to remember them. Thank you. Splat looked at Seymour and thought that he was just about to smile, but he sneezed and said, Achoo! Splat read on. When I broke my mom's favorite ornament, you fixed it for me, said Splat. Except somehow Mom noticed, and I had to have a bath and go to bed early. Thank you anyway. When I had my bath and got my toes stuck, you knew what to do. Thank you. And when I went to bed early, you sneaked in a flashlight so I could read my book. Thank you. When I overslept the next morning, you woke me up so that I wasn't late for school. Honk. Thank you. When I borrowed my brother's kite and played for hours, you made so much fun. Thank you, said Splat. Then when I climbed the tree to rescue my brother's kite and I got stuck, you rescued me, said Splat. Thank you. Splat looked at Seymour and thought that he had to get a smile this time, but instead he hiccuped. Splat read on. When I pretended I was speeding through space in my rocket ship, about to be the first cat on the moon, Spike passed me in a faster rocket ship and tried to become the first cat on the moon instead. You told me space cats never give up. So I didn't, continued Splat. Thank you. Splat looked at Seymour and he thought that Seymour was for sure going to smile this time. But Seymour scratched his tickly ear instead. So Splat read more. When I told you my biggest secret, you didn't tell anyone else. Thank you. And when Splat gave Kitten a bigger Valentine card than the one I gave her, you knew how to make me feel better. Thank you. When little sis was covered in spots and not feeling well, you made her smile, said Splat. Thank you. And when I was covered in spots and not feeling well, you made me smile. Thank you. You are my smallest friend and my biggest. And I just wanted to say thank you. We are going to take a break. We'll come right back for our next story.
Yes. Oh, hi. I suppose you're wondering what an A-list celebrity like me is doing in a place like this. You must know, I'm saving the world. Oh, hi, Beth. Yep, saving the world again. Did you know that 40% of all the food produced in the United States is thrown away? That means everything that went into that food, the pesticides, the water, the land, was all for nothing. Just look at this perfectly good food thrown in the trash.
The pizza with extra Cheerios, these goldfish and Band-Aid tacos. And just look at this perfect trash burger.
This pasta dog looks delicious.
You don't have to dumpster dive like Ed Begley Jr. to save the planet. Fight food waste by shopping smart and using what you buy before it gets trashed.
That's way better. Ooh, arugula.
Do your part and find out other world-saving tips at betterthaned.org.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
It's time for our very next book, The Little Engine That Could Saves the Thanksgiving Day Parade. And this is by Walty Piper. The Turkeyland Band has been invited to the official band of the Thanksgiving Day Parade at Gobbleville. There was so much excitement in the air as the members of the band loaded their instruments onto the bus. It was a cool, crisp fall day. The bus carrying the band bumped along the road. The sounds of the turning of the tuba, the crashing of the cymbals, and the high-pitched trilling of the flute floated out of the half-opened windows. The bus stopped for a red light at the train tracks. When the light turned green, the bus started to move. But just as it crossed the train tracks, there was a loud pop. The bus stopped. The bus driver was worried. He got out of the bus to see what happened. Big John went with the driver to check out the problem. But when Big John climbed back into the bus, his face looked sad. "I'm afraid I have some bad news," he told the rest of the band. "The bus has a flat and there is no spare tire." "Oh no! How would the Turkeyland Band get to Gobbleville now?" "Maybe we can catch a ride," says Susie Cranberry, the flute player. But there was no one else on the road. "Can we walk there?" asked little Tim, who played the cymbals and was the youngest member of the band. "I wish we could," said Big John, "but it's way too far to walk." Just then, the little blue engine came chugging up happily down the track. "What seems to be the problem?" she asked in a sweet little voice. "We have a flat tire, no spare tire to change it with," said the bus driver. "We're supposed to play in Gobbleville's Thanksgiving parade," Susie Cranberry said, "but we'll never get there in time now." She wiped a tear from her cheek. "Aw. I'm not very fast, but I think I can get you to Gobbleville just in time for the parade. I think I can," said the little blue engine. "We'll unload the bus as fast as we can," said Big John. "I'll help too," said the jolly clown, the little blue engine's best friend. When all was loaded up, the little blue engine tried to move. Chugga, stop. Chugga, chugga, stop. With the Turkeyland Band and all their instruments, her load was so heavy. But the little blue engine said to herself, "I think I can, I think I can." And soon she began to move. Puff, puff, chug, chug, the little blue engine moved steadily down the tracks. Before long, she came to a hill. And on the other side of the hill was Gobbleville. But it was such a big, big hill, and the little blue engine was so tired, yet she wasn't going to let anyone down. She looked at the hill and repeated to herself, "I think I can, I think I can." "We know you can, we know you can," the band members chanted. And the little blue engine puffed and chugged all the way up the hill and then all the way down the other side. When the little blue engine was helping, the Turkeyland Band made it to Gobbleville just in time for the parade. The whole town greeted the band and little blue engine as they pulled into sight. "Hip, hip, hooray for Little Blue," Susie Cranberry yelled, and everyone cheered. The Gobbleville Thanksgiving Day Parade began. Little Blue Engine was asked to follow the track down to Stuffington Street as the band marched along the parade route. The Jolly Clown did cartwheels and handstands along with the band as they made their way down the street. When the parade was over, the Jolly Clown hopped back aboard Little Blue, and the driver and the entire Turkeyland Band came over to say thank you and goodbye. The little blue engine pulled away as the band sat down to a much-deserved Thanksgiving feast. The end. Okay, we'll wait for our very next story after we watch this break.
Welcome to the Adventure Side. Wake up the omelets. Wake up the omelets.
Hi there, it's time for the very next story, Gus, the Pilgrim Turkey. And this book is by Teresa Bateman. Gus loved being a turkey. He gobbled with friends. He got to wear whatever he pleased, and he was fed almost everything he wanted. Life was fabulous. He was young, so every day was a new adventure. In the spring, there were tasty young bugs everywhere. Gus looked stunning in his Easter hat. Summer was even better. He danced in the sprinkler, wearing shorts with crazy patterns, and he loved the way the sun glinted over the farm pond. Now it was autumn. Gus wrapped a jaunty orange scarf around his neck. I can't wait for winter, he gobbled to his friends. I want to make snow turkeys and wear my new woolly cap. I've even bought a tuxedo for New Year's Eve. I wouldn't worry about New Year's, said the horse. No, barked the dog. Turkeys don't make it to January around here. Why not? Gus asked. Thanksgiving, that's why not, the goose explained. Gus was puzzled. So his friends told him all about the pilgrims traveling the windy seas by ship, looking for a safe place to live. No problem. They told him about the Native Americans who helped the pilgrims. No problem. They told him about the big feast. No problem. I love food, Gus said. So, what's on the menu? His friends told him. Big problem, Gus said. No way. It's true, said the rooster. Well, I'll leave. I'll just pack up and leave, Gus said. And go where? The horse asked. Gus looked up. A V of birds was flying by. South, he declared. Other birds go south for the winter. Maybe that's why they don't end up being dinner. His friends weren't sure about his plan, but they helped Gus fill his backpack with seed corn and his favorite outfits. Good luck, they shouted as he disappeared out of sight. Poor Gus' drumsticks got rather tired, but he kept walking. After several weeks he saw decorations, pilgrims, pumpkins, and turkeys. South. He knew he had to go further south. When Gus crossed the Rio Grande into Mexico, he felt safer. They didn't have Thanksgiving in Mexico, did they? Gus came to a town and he heard music playing nearby. He followed the happy sound to a party. Cake was on the table. Hanging from the tree was a large, colorful bird. A turkey? He couldn't tell because it wouldn't stay still. The children were beating it with a stick. Oh my goodness, the horror! Suddenly, the bird broke open and a cascade of candy fell out. Gus gasped in relief. It wasn't a turkey. It wasn't even a real bird. Still, he couldn't stay in a place where people would whack any kind of bird, feathered or fake. Gus kept moving. Thanksgiving was not everywhere he went, but people looked at him with hungry eyes. Was there no safe place for a turkey? At last, he grew so tired he couldn't walk anymore. So Gus found a ship heading south, and he tiptoed aboard it late one night. He hopped into a lifeboat, and he settled down for a long journey. He was safe. Whew! For the first few days, he enjoyed sailing. But soon the seas grew rough, and it got cold, and then colder, and then the coldest Gus had ever felt. He tugged on his warm, woolly hat. Then one day, the ship stopped. Gus poked his head out. The coast was clear. He ran to the rail and he looked around. Snow, snow, and more snow. The ship was surrounded by snow and ice. Gus gobbled. Unfortunately, I think someone heard him. "Hey, would you get a load of that?" said a man in a parka. "I can't believe it's Thanksgiving. And right on board we have a real live turkey, just in time for a Thanksgiving feast." Uh-oh. Gus grabbed his backpack and he ran down the gangplank. But where could he hide? In this white wilderness, he stood out. Suddenly, he saw a whole bunch of other birds. He dove into them. "Excuse me, let me by, so sorry." Still, he didn't feel safe. All of the others were wearing black and white. He needed a way to blend in. And now the penguin said, "Who are you?" Quickly, Gus pulled out his tuxedo and he threw it on. There was a lot of shouting, but now the men couldn't see Gus. Finally, he headed back to the ship. "What was that all about?" the other birds asked. "And who are you?" "I'm Gus," he explained, "and I've traveled for a long, long time, trying to find a place where I can be safe." Is a killer whale after you?" asked the nearest penguin. "No," said Gus. "It's nothing like that. Well, it's Thanksgiving." "Thanksgiving," said the penguins. "Sure, it's a holiday about pilgrims and stuff," Gus said. "Penguins?" they asked. "No, pilgrims." And then he explained. The penguins listened. So the pilgrims left their home because they didn't feel safe. They traveled by ship for a long, long time. All the penguins turned to eye the nearby ship. "Welcome, pilgrim," the head penguin said. "But I'm not," Gus began. And he looked at the natives in a strange new home. They all looked like they'd help him survive. "Maybe I am a pilgrim," Gus said at last. "I sure have a lot to be thankful for." "Now, how about a feast?" asked his new friends. Gus grinned. "No problem." How silly. The end. Let's take a break. I'll see you soon.
My name is Teresa Amator, and I'm a volunteer with Canine Stray Rescue League here in Oxford. And this adorable little cuddle bug is Brooman. Brooman is a 4-year-old mixed breed who looks like he has some Boston Terrier and Bulldog in him. He's about 40 pounds and a nice small size. He absolutely loves to cuddle, crawl in your lap, and get belly rubs. He definitely craves closeness and affection, but he's also very well-mannered and calm once he gets settled in. He loves to go on walks and he takes treats gently. He is very smart too. He quickly figures out the enrichment puzzles and finds all of the treats. Broomin would benefit from a leader to rely on who would help him to build his confidence. He can get a bit excited when playing, but is easily redirected with toys or commands. He's good with other dogs, but he does have an all-in play approach, so he could be too much for some dogs. We ask that any children in the home be at least 8 years of age. Broomin currently has cherry-eyed, but that's something that's easily fixed. So if you're interested in Broomin or any of our other adoptable dogs, please visit caninestray.com to fill out an adoption application, or you can visit the shelter during our business hours.
And here we are, time for our very last book. Today it is The Perfect Thanksgiving by Eileen Spinelli. Thanksgiving. Abigail Archer's family is perfect in every way. Never is this more obvious than on Thanksgiving Day. The turkey says, "Turn the page and take a look." Their turkey is plump and golden. Their napkins are made of lace. Their table is lit with candles. They all have hands for grace. Our smoke alarm is wailing. Our turkey's burnt as toast. Dad spills the gravy down his shirt. A less than perfect host. Abigail Archer's father serves white meat all around. Everyone takes dainty bites, and no one makes a sound. My grandpa chews the gizzards. My brother chops the wings. My sister slurps, my uncle burps, and my Aunt Clarissa sings. Abigail Archer's mother wears organdy and pearls. She decorates with homemade pies with fancy whipped cream swirls. My mom is dressed in blue jeans. Her pies are from the store. Her jello mold, a quivering, falls to the floor. After dinner at Abigail's, after the dishes are done, some of the grown-ups take a walk and others play chess for fun. After dinner at our house, the dogs sneak off with the scraps. Some of the grown-ups watch TV and others take long naps. Abigail's older cousins read books in velvet chairs. The younger ones bring toys, and everybody shares. My cousins chase around the house. They grab each other's collars, they stop and hop on the furniture, and everybody hollers. The overnight guests at Abigail's have rooms all to themselves, with chocolates on the pillows and shampoo on the shelves. Our guests bring their own sleeping bags and canvas camping cots. Some guests sleep in the kitchen besides the cooking pots. Abigail Archer's family will sleep straight through the night. They'll have the pleasantest of dreams by the starry window light. My family fumbles in the dark, eats leftovers galore, takes bubble baths at 2 a.m., and many of them snore. My family and the Archers are different, this I know. We can't tell peas from green legumes or snails from escargot. But we're alike in one way, the nicest way by far. Alike is just how loving and how different our families are. The end. I hope you have a very thankful day. And it was good to spend time with you. We'll see you next time.